Greetings, heroes of Dominion. Zeus here with another deep dive into the Lara Croft event, and today we're covering the entire run of the Temple Guardian boss fights, from level 130 all the way up to level 300. This is going to be a full walkthrough, explaining each stage, the Guardian lineups, and the exact buffs required. Whether you're just starting out or pushing into the toughest fights at the top, this guide will keep you prepared. What's exciting is that strategies have evolved dramatically. Thanks to constant testing and teamwork across the Hero Wars community, we've managed to lower the buff requirements in many stages, making this event far more resource-friendly than it first appeared. So let's walk through the journey, one stage at a time. Level 130, Buff 0. The Temple Guardian challenge begins at level 130 with Galahad, Sebastian, Lara Croft, Astrid, and Lucas, and Iris, supported by Axel as the team pet. Despite the strong mix of physical and magic threats, this stage is tuned to be cleared without buffs. It's the first checkpoint, and it sets the pace for what's ahead. Level 140, Buff 0. At 140, the lineup remains identical: Galahad, Sebastian, Lara Croft, Astrid, and Lucas, and Iris, again with Axel as pet. Nothing new here, and buffs still aren't necessary. Level 150, Buff 0. At level 150, Nebula replaces Astrid and Lucas, joining Galahad, Sebastian, Lara Croft, and Iris. Nebula doesn't bring a pet in this setup, but the fight still stays simple, and again you won't need buffs. Level 160, Buff 0. Level 160 brings in Rufus with Oliver and Isaac with Axel, alongside Sebastian, Lara Croft, and Iris. This team introduces some counter mechanics, Rufus blocking magic, Isaac denying control, but it's still beatable without buffs. Level 170, Buff 0. At 170, the Guardians line up as Rufus with Oliver, Satori with Biscuit, Isaac with Axel, Lara Croft with Mara, and Aiden with Merlin. This team looks dangerous with Satori's marks and Aiden's flames, but once again, buffs are not required here. Level 180, Buff 0. Level 180 raises the bar with Rufus, Satori, Lara Croft, Astrid, and Lucas, and Aiden, supported by Merlin. It's a durable and punishing lineup, combining magic counters with raw damage, but the design still keeps it clearable without buffs. Level 190, Buff 0. At 190, the Guardians field Isaac with Oliver, Sebastian with Albus, Lara Croft with Fenris, Astrid and Lucas with Vex, and Iris with Biscuit, with Albus as the team pet. This team increases its offensive output, but it's still possible to clear at Buff 0, making it the last free checkpoint before the serious walls begin. Level 200, Buff 0. The fight at 200 features Satori, Isaac, Nebula, Sebastian, and Lara Croft, with Albus as the team pet. Satori can punish energy gain, but the fight remains balanced at Buff 0. Level 210, Buff 0. At 210, Astaroth joins Isaac, Nebula, Sebastian, and Lara Croft, again with Albus. Astaroth's resurrection adds a layer of difficulty, but no buffs are required here either. Level 220, Buff 5. At 220, the lineup becomes Rufus with Biscuit, Galahad with Fenris, Isaac with Oliver, Lara Croft with Mara, and Iris with Albus. Fenris leads as the team pet. This is the first time buffs are necessary, though only 5 are required. Level 230, Buff 60. Level 230 is a true wall. The Guardians here are Rufus, Galahad, Isaac, Lara Croft, and Iris, with Axel as pet. This fight demands 60 buffs, a steep requirement but still lower than the 90 once needed. Level 240, Buff 0. At 240, things ease up. The lineup of Galahad, Isaac, Sebastian, Lara Croft, and Iris, with Albus as pet, doesn't require buffs, giving players a breather after 230. Level 250, Buff 5. This stage was recently reworked. Previously at 10 buffs, it now only needs 5. The lineup is Astaroth with Biscuit, Galahad with Oliver, Isaac with Mara, Lara Croft with Fenris, and Sebastian with Albus as team pet. Level 260, Buff 35. At 260, the Guardians are Astaroth with Axel, Morrigan with Oliver, Lara Croft with Vex, Iris with Biscuit, and Helios with Merlin, with Albus as team pet. Once thought to require 50 buffs, this fight is now cleared with 35. Level 270, buff 95. At 270, Corvus with Oliver, Morrigan with Axel, Lara Croft with Fenris, Iris without a pet, and Helios with Merlin step up, with Axel as the team pet. Originally 110 buffs, this stage has dropped to 95. Level 280, buff 135. Level 280 features Isaac, Lara Croft, Aiden, Martha, and Iris, with Axel as pet. This fight remains one of the hardest in the event, holding steady at 135 buffs. Level 290, buff 35. Here's another major update. Once requiring 50 to 60 buffs, the Guardians at 290 can now be cleared with just 35. The lineup is Anvari with Oliver, Isaac with Axel, Sebastian with Fenris, Lara Croft with Vex, and Iris with Albus as team pet. Level 300, buff 125. Finally, we reach the ultimate challenge. This fight has been reworked again, and now requires 125 buffs, a major drop from before. The lineup is Morrigan with Axel, Celeste with Merlin, Lara Croft with Mara, Aiden with Chorus, and Iris with Albus as the team pet. Even though it's still the toughest stage, saving 50 buffs at the end makes a huge difference. Conclusion? And that's the full journey, levels 130 through 300, with the latest strategies and buff requirements. What stands out the most is how much progress we've made together. Thanks to constant testing, shared battle reports, and cooperation, the total buffs required for the full event have now been reduced to just 495. That's a huge achievement and proof that the Hero Wars community is one of the best gaming communities out there. The teamwork, the willingness to share solutions, and the dedication to finding better paths make this event more rewarding for everyone. So remember, don't rush, play smart, and rely on the community. Together, we've turned what seemed impossible into something achievable. Salute and friendship.